What's going on? It's Man Tomorrow here. Make sure you hit the like button upon coming in. And it's just more of the actual same of why you have to separate from these people. So turn this fan off. All right, here we go. Yeah, man, because you're gonna waste a lot of time in life trying to explain this stuff to people when you shouldn't even be trying to explain this stuff. Like I was talking to a young dude, like I just right now crossed from Ohio into Pennsylvania along I-80. Normally doing my normal stuff to Bethel, PA. Give a shout out to the people who in here. Lil Rock, what's going on? Ron Matthews, LOM, Ronald Son, XC, Spiritual Logic Hulk, the Cynical One. Yeah. So I was talking to this guy, young dude, extremely confused, but he's a productive dude. Like I don't think 20, 25 years ago, even at my age, at that point, I was still in the military, but this dude was like totally in a messed up situation and he got to be productive and started to separate. And this person found himself trying to reprove himself to other individuals, like explaining his moves to other people. I'm like, bro, them people don't care about that. They only care when you're spending it on them. They don't care about the process. They just want to benefit, right? It's like reparations. Nobody gives a shit about the process, but everybody wants to benefit. That's why I just don't even bother even trying to have these discussions with people because their level of understanding is so piss poor that they only have enough room and enough capacity just to benefit. What they do, they come in, stir up a hornet's nest, and all of a sudden they're just supposed to benefit. They don't understand the process. They don't want to take a side. They don't even know that the bill's already been passed. They don't even know that there are specific groups of people within this country who's fighting against it. They don't know any of that shit. So what they do, just like I told this individual, what these individuals do is they don't want to take responsibility for the fact that they don't know what they're talking about. So they come up to people who potentially do know what they talk about and they ask dumbass questions from the standpoint of, why don't you explain to me why this is this? And it's like, you don't even care about this issue at all. Because if you cared about this issue as more as you care about mumble rap, as more as you care about the relationship industry complex conversation, the more as you care about entertainment, you would already know this shit already. So I'm like, look, every time you stop and every time you think you have to explain the moves that you know the people don't respect, every time you stop and you do that, you take time out of your life to address other people's ignorance and their own inaction. What's going on, Doug? What's going on, J3? And I'm like, bro, listen, you're a young ass dude. The fact that you got to this level of money this early, you're already better than 98% of the people that you're going to run into at your age, and probably 99% of the people that you're going to run to even older. It's a much easier job to learn how things work and apply yourself rather than waiting on someone's explanation to get you up to speed any faster than things that I just said before. You don't like the area that you live in, not enough jobs, then guess what? You better start with that tax return and start figuring out what type of training you want so that way you can move to another area. Now, these options were not open for everybody 10 years ago, 15 years ago, especially not 20 to 30 years ago, right? But they're open right now. Like most of these people's problems can be solved very easily. It's just that they're expecting someone else to solve it for them. Like they're going to come here and they're going to put the ball in your court so that way you can fix their problems. It really doesn't make any sense for younger individuals to talk like they have problems of like 40 and 50 and 60-year-old people. It doesn't make any sense. Like this whole socialized inaction, this stuff is crazy. A lot of these people think that they can't take a move, they can't take an action unless the people that they do not like benefit off of it. Like they can't take an action to where they're solely benefiting off of it. Someone else has to be benefiting off of their action, most likely people that they don't like or they don't know. They have to come before anything else. They have to come before everything else. I don't understand that. But this is something, but this is a legacy that has been carried down to people. Like this isn't a government that's doing this. These are people who are experiencing the latter portions of this end point of socialized, unneeded trauma that happens when people go from one society or environment to another. They just can't produce and be able to be okay. They always have to be thinking about these individuals who haven't done shit with their life. They always have to be thinking about these individuals who would never help them to do anything. But the moment that these people get $5 in their pocket, they try to go rescue their lost self esteem from these same individuals who do not care. They only want to benefit. They only want to benefit. Doesn't matter what the issue is. It could be as simple or even complex. It's the same thing. You're explaining things to people who do not care about the process. They only want to benefit. You got to snap out of doing that. You just got to be able to cross the finish line and be like, look, I'm out. If they don't figure it out, that's on them. I'm just going to stay away. I'm going to fly over with the leaflets and I'm going to drop it down to them. But never am I going to put myself in a situation to where I have to keep re explaining this stuff to people that don't care. I go back home during Mother's Day and during like Jackson State homecoming every year. Every year, I run into the same people. They ask me the same questions about the same things. Have these people put these things into action? Absolutely not. Why? They want to benefit from it, or else they want to benefit enough and they get what 2% through the process and they have to show it off to 100% of the people. Next thing you know, nothing works. It's gonna whack the world off. That was my mistake in my past until reality hit me and told me, leave the leeches alone. Yes. You know how much easier life is supposed to be whenever you got your stuff together and you only worry about things that are your responsibility? You're shouldering the responsibility of people that you don't even know, who don't even care that you're even worried about them. They only want to benefit. They don't care about the process. They only want to benefit. They only want to leverage everybody else's actions. They don't want to participate. They've already outsourced the learning and the participation piece to other individuals. I do agree. I do agree. And productive people let it happen all the time. That's why you got to leave a lot of productive people behind as well. Unprincipled people who lack integrity are just going to infiltrate among productive people to sabotage their progress, then pretend like they care about progress. Yep, happens all the time. Happen here within this space. Happen here within this space. Luckily, I'm so far ahead and so much don't give a damn about these people who would actually engage in this type of stuff that I don't even care. I could just keep it moving. What's going on, specialist? What's going on, Shiva here? But you have to. You have to. Yeah, like yeah, like most of this stuff is very easy. Like once it's applied. Like what we have is we have a lot of listening, but there's a lot of lack of practical application once you have all the answers to things, which I'm not sure why that is, because the practical application piece is going to test out the information if you want to put the information to the real test. Think about it. Every time you had to explain something to somebody and they did the exact opposite of what you actually told them to, it's almost like they listen to a competent explanation so they can disagree with it or they can discard it just so that way they can do the opposite of it and then complain to everybody else in the world when nothing works. Again, these things are not your problem. These are other people's problems that they try to socialize onto someone else. And yes, you're never going to be able to feel at home around these individuals who are at home. They are at home being lost. They are at home. I'm telling you, they may look lost, but they're not lost. They're at their end conclusion of where they wanted to be. Trust me, this is exactly what they've been working towards the entire time. It's putting this stuff off on someone else so that way they can have an easier life. This is why the people who go around stay worried about things die earlier than people who clearly don't give a shit about anything. Why? They have an easier life. They already know that they're not going to participate or do anything of substance. They just want to be able to hide around a group of productive people so that way those people can be putting in all the substance so that way they can just ride along. Your actions should be the only explanation that you have. For real. So I'm like, people like, well, you know what? How do I program my mind to productivity? I'm like, what the fuck you mean programming? Like, dude, the only thing you got to do is cut that bullshit off that you ain't supposed to be around. It's literally that easy. The less time you spend around it, the less time you're affected by it. But the problem is, people want to bring the nonsense along for the ride with them for some reason. You're really thinking that all this stuff is supposed to work a specific type of way when it clearly doesn't. The less time you spend explaining yourself to people that you already know don't get it. Like, okay, we're in the manosphere, right? Every 2 years we talk about politics. Every single year, every single election cycle, we talk about politics. Every single year, every other year, and especially when it comes to the presidential race, we talk about the same thing every year. You still have people who still don't know what is going on, who haven't even looked up the history of their state, who don't even know what area that they live in or why they live in it. They've outsourced it to other people. And it's like, man, look, like a dude came up to me today and we were like me and another guy was having a conversation about this indictment and of Donald Trump, and the guy was like, he came and asked me a question about the actual process, and I'm like, look, the guy doesn't have a case. If you have these documents and they've been asking for them for a while, and they do a raid and they're in your actual space, then you don't have a case. So the guy got all mad and all upset, and I'm like, dude, listen, man. I'm sorry that I even tried to explain this shit to you. I'd rather you just go back to being dumb as shit about the issue and not understand anything. Because it's better off that way. There's less to say to you. The less you know about shit, the less I have to keep explaining shit to you. But that's the way it is. Just like I had the child support stream, and it's very simple. Put the work in, get your finances up, fight for your kid if you want to fight for him. Otherwise, shut the fuck up. No docketing date, no date with the court, no date with a no date with a private eye, no date with an attorney, no date with the court system, no date with none of that. Shut the fuck up. You ain't really doing shit. But people don't want to hear that. They want to hear that, oh, my voice is heard. Oh man, I just got to get this shit off. And it's like, bro, listen. That's exactly what he did. So I'm like, look, these things are really not that hard. They're really not. But people make them hard because they don't want to follow simple ass directions. And that's really not your fault. I mean, it becomes your fault when you repeatedly keep listening to these individuals. That's when it actually becomes your fault. Because now you're just re victimizing and re traumatizing yourself with things that are not even your responsibility. What's going on, Rage Machine? What's going on? I think I saw. Yeah, I know I saw Johnny Blaze. What's going on? Yes. And the problem is people become stuck in this cycle of preparing to take action but not taking any action. Like, dude, the best set plans are plans that you don't have to ever employ. What's going on, Queens of Virtue? Like, how many times do you have to explain to people the relationship industry complex situation about how looking at people gaslight you over relationship issues isn't going to get you any closer to any man or any woman who's going to deal with you? How many times does somebody has to tell you that? How many times do you see some person with a goddamn Ferrari or on a boat telling you about this get rich quick scheme that you know ain't gonna never work, but you fall for the shit every time because it's simple and easy? I mean, how many times do you have to keep explaining to these people what a pyramid scheme is? I've had to explain that at least 1,000 times in my life. Like, no, this is not an opportunity. This is a pyramid scheme. No, this is not an opportunity. This is a pyramid scheme. Well, it's not a pyramid scheme. I'm like, okay, do you get paid if you do not recruit people? Okay. The answer is no. Then it's pyramid scheme. Yep. That's exactly what they do, spiritual logic Hulk. That's what they do. That's what they do. That's what they do. That's what they do. And it's not even that hard to see. I mean, the cycle is so easy to point out. Like once you see it, it's like, and they run the same con every day. No matter how many times you have to explain it to them, they still show up to the con shit every day. Then they have an obvious con that they bring to your face so that way you can explain it to them rather than them want to take responsibility for the fact that they almost got conned and figuring this shit out for themselves. Again, a lot of this stuff is not your responsibility. It's their responsibility to get this stuff. If I can put in all this time to learn how all this stuff works, you can too. Trust me. You want to learn how these things work. That's how you get the most out of these situations is understanding how things work. But if you don't care how it works and the only thing you want to do is benefit, you're going to consistently have to make yourself look dumb and inept in front of so many people rather than taking the baseline responsibility and figuring this stuff out yourself. Like I went through this last week. There was a person who didn't understand political leverage. And he was saying something to the effect of, if he don't get any reparations, then he isn't going to show up to vote. And I'm like, all right, so where do you live at? I live in Illinois. Do they have a reparations bill in Illinois? Well, not that I know of. Okay, so you saying that you're not going to participate in the process. You don't know if there's a bill that's actually went through the legislature or not. And you're threatening not to participate because you don't know if the bill is there or not, but this is supposed to be your issue. I just looked at him like, dude, listen, man, just stay home, dude. If you're this fucking stupid, just stay fucking home, man. Because if I had a political event and you stepped into my political event with this level of stupidity, I make sure you get humiliated the fuck out of, and I tell you get the fuck out of the goddamn building. I'm like, you do understand it's easier for conservatives to operate with political leverage because they started off with power already or an idea of power already. You don't have that. You have to participate for years in order for you to get the type of power that they have. But you're trying to start off as if you have a level of power already when you clearly don't. What's wrong, Cedric Webb? And I'm like, well, that's how political leverage works. And then he just looked at me with this confused look on his face. I'm like, you know what? I should have never fucking told you that. I should have let you stay there and be stupid as shit. And you seem to be so fucking happy, not actually knowing how shit works. Now you're even more confused than you clearly were before because I told you the truth of how things work. And now you want to argue with me about the truth of how this shit works and how much time you wasted. Now you want to make me responsible for how much time you wasted not knowing how shit works. Unbelievable. Cedric Webb, thank for the $20 super sticker. But that's what happens when you remove the wool from some people's eyes, though. You become the target of attack. How dare you take my fun away? How dare you take my comfort away? How dare you engage my level of cognitive dissonance? How dare you do that? How dare you open my eyes and make sure that I don't waste any more time on this type of bullshit? How dare you do that? I asked you a simple question so that way you can further my own ignorance and you ended up solving my own problem for me. You see, that's what happens when people ask you these ignorant ass questions. They want you to further their own ignorance. They don't want you to solve their own problem. And I'm like, and this dude was just indignant about the shit. Like, it can't be that easy. I'm like, it is literally that easy. It is literally that easy. Remember, these people fought a whole civil war for free. And if they would have won, they were not going to benefit from it. You cannot negotiate with people who fought this type of war for the free and still think that corporate power is somehow part of their power system and structure. You cannot argue with people like that. The only thing you can do is get your side out more than their side, and don't bother explaining anything to them. What's going on, Ryle? But that's why this stuff really gets on my nerves. But it's if we can only just free the young people who are already at the productivity piece from the actual social dysfunction that these actual older individuals download into these young people's heads, I think we'll have a better outcome. Yep, that type of stupid shit too. Yeah, yep. Let's go on, Antonio Keys. That be the stupid shit right there, Terrence B. Where you clearly work there. But I'm just saying, man, like, bro, this stuff is looking up, man. This stuff is looking up on the upswing. Because I'm telling you, the more you free yourself away from these people who consistently want to waste time over and over again, the better off you're going to be overall. Remember, they're codependent among these problems and these things not being solved. So that way they can have a place. Guess what happens when you get your shit together very early and you no longer need these people help on anything? Then things get solved. And the only thing you have to do is maintain your productivity at that point. Maintain your level of just keeping up with the news and knowing what's actually going on inside your area at that point. It's really not even that difficult. But the point is that they have to maintain complete ignorance at all costs, and you cannot deal with people who want to maintain ignorance. Because people who want to maintain ignorance, they have different mission parameters. They have to spend their time wasting time and dodging reality and not performing simple and specific things so that way they can move past their so-called issues. See what Ryle said. These old, occasional, have no ideas. They can only jack ideas while complaining about us. Yeah, but you have to realize they have a consistent mission of trying to stagnate people. This is why you have these liberal arts majors who teach at these fucking universities who teach meaningless ass fucking shit, who actually don't even want to see the hard sciences even take fold, who don't even want to see skilled individuals take over anything. These people have already quit in life very early, and they have to keep this bullshit up forever. And they have to make sure that they stay at the top of their actual craft the way they at of not producing anything. They have to do that. They know damn well that they ain't got nothing else to say but to deal with the relationship industry complex, which actually takes no fucking skill to actually be on. It doesn't take any skill to talk about dating relationships. If your ass ain't married or off the field, it don't take any type of sense to do that. Don't take any type of sense to teach some liberal arts shit that's not even important in society outside of that fucking classroom. It doesn't take a lot of sense to do that. Doesn't take a lot of sense to spread political myths and disinformation. Doesn't take any kind of sense to do that. Doesn't take any kind of sense to keep asking the same dumbass questions. It doesn't make any sense to keep acting like there was no three-fifth compromise. It doesn't take any type of sense to keep trying to pretend like the parties didn't switch, even though the same people from the same areas are causing the same problems. And they were called different things at different times in history, but the people haven't changed. But can't really talk about that because they have to maintain their ignorance on that. But this is a great time. The great time is that, dude, you run them out of all their arguments and then they just seem so stiff and stale. Remember, they have to keep riding the same horse forever while you get to move on and move past these things. They have a vested interest in covering the entire time online, having these same conversations from panel to panel to panel to panel because they have a vested interest in stagnating as many people as possible. It ain't the women. It ain't the women. It ain't even the fact that the women ain't even at the fucking table. It's the fact that they're trying to get dudes to believe that that's the case. It's the fact that people who are SBEing need the definition of SBE to be explained to them, as if that's not what they're actually doing. But if you keep explaining to these people, even though they don't care, think about it. What explanation have you actually given to somebody within this space and they still just dropped it and went on to something else? No, they hung their hat on the actual ignorance that needs to be sown around most of these issues. Oh, what's going on, Topaz? Oh, what's going on, Garfield Lawson? What's going on, Break the Cycle? But this is where we are. It's not like they want to make progress. They clearly don't want to make progress. And these are the very people who talk about how community minded they are, about how much they care about boys, about how much they care about the black community, about how much they care about reparations, about like, dude, if you listen to all these issues, they all sound the same after a while. Yeah, but you got to have force in order for that to work. No, you just can't have SBE without no level of actual control. Yeah, but you got to have control or force in order for SBE to work. If you don't have neither, then it doesn't work at all. Then it's just an empty gesture. But you can't practice SBE in a culture where it don't work, and it actually have the same results in a culture where it does work. Like yeah, like let's get like the Nation of Islam. All they do is SBE. But they SBE and they put hands on people if you don't follow what they say. Like my wife's culture, Cambodian. Yeah, they SBE, but if they step out of line, they get them hands. But if you don't have force or any type of control mechanism with the SBE piece, then that's when it becomes an empty gesture. What do you mean? Um, why so many people are mad at AM1? I don't know what that means. I mean, there's obvious grifters in the space who don't want somebody like AM1 even talking or speaking. Like the people who are dependent on a broken environment in order for them to actually make their craft. But other than that, I don't know what you're talking about outside of that, Antonio Key is. Most of this stuff is so easy at this point. Like you have to be a damn fool to try to socialize failure into your own group at this point. You have to be a damn fool to try to turn inexperienced men onto obvious bad options at this point. Actually, Man of Steel, the next grift is pretending like you don't know what SBE is, or or having to reset conversations even though that you were in the BGS camp, or everything is a grift. Like pointing out grifts is a grift now. Like you pointing out SBE, you're a grifter because you point out SBE. Everything is a grift now. Like that's what it is. Self improvement is a grift. Telling people to get their shit together is a grift. Telling dudes to leave problematic women alone, that's a grift. Telling people to pick a side, that's a grift. Like everything becomes a grift now. Like that's what it is. Telling people to be more disciplined and have better outcomes, that's a grift now. Everything's a grift now. That's what I'm saying. You're a grifter for talking about skills and resources. Yeah, you're a grifter now. Yeah. Yeah, man. It's the Manosphere Griftomatic universe, man. You never know what they'll come up with. Yep. That's the process, Cedric Webb. That's the process. That shit actually happens because those are not your credentials. Those credentials belong to that school. And if you start using those credentials or you're faced with those credentials in a way that they don't approve, they take your shit away from you after they challenge you. Yeah, like that's exactly what AM1 is doing. Like this is exactly what AM1 is doing. It's highlighted. He's telling folks to stop complaining about women and focus on yourself, and he's getting heat for it. Yes. But here's another thing about AM1. I don't think the people who disagree with AM1 can bring AM1 on, and you would be able to beat AM1 at the conversation that you're attempting to have without him there. That's what I don't think is possible. Because when you bring somebody on that you actually disagree with, now you have to face them man to man on actual talking points. You can't just misconstrue what somebody say and just put the shit out there. I mean, AM1's content is not any different than my content. I mean, we just can't say that AM1 don't bring value to the space when he clearly does. It's a lot nicer version of what I'm saying. To be quite honest with you, Keep It 100 is a piece of shit, dude. He's a clear piece of shit. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Anybody who would share a panel with any of those bullshit nigga PhDs or fucking BGS Idmore is a piece of shit. Dude, if you cannot see what the fuck Keep It 100 is fucking doing, then something is wrong with you. He did not destroy AM1. Keep It 100 tried to play both sides of the fence by having AM1 be part of the conversation. He tried to give fake pushback. He tried to speak for an issue and then give fake pushback on an issue. So he wanted to keep up a bullshit conversation from a standpoint of a fucking reset, but he clearly don't want any progress because he's around bullshit niggas all the time. Like, dude, you can't make this shit up, man. Yeah, of course I do. Put people in the truck and yeah, because I'm a tangible based thing. You just can't be smart for being smart sake. You know, you gotta do this shit cut 1,000 different ways. That's what I said about the conversation when I actually listened to it. It should have been a 1 hour conversation, but it couldn't be a 1 hour conversation because it's a contrite situation that he's trying to force a conversation that don't need to be had. This conversation has been had two, three, six times. He's trying to center the conversation around him the same way BGS is trying to center the actual manosphere around him showing up. He's doing the same thing by having reset conversations. He need SBE explained to him. He having a fucking panel about 1.0 with no 1.0 niggas up there. Just stupid shit that don't even need to be done. Yeah, that dude ain't fucking stupid. He ain't stupid at all. You have a conversation about some shit your homeboy is lying about, the dude you know in real life. Okay, so you know BGS in real life, so you have a 1.0 panel without even inviting no 1.0 niggas up there. Most 1.0 people have their email address in the about section. All of them do. So you taking it back to 1.0 when all the niggas that you hang out with don't even believe 1.0 even existed. Like what the fuck are we talking about here? Yep, that's what it is, man. Content strategy, which is another way of saying I'm a piece of shit. I'm a piece of shit because I need to stagnate our entire group. So I'm just going to rehash all the conversations that's been had. And I'm gonna pretend like I'm a slick ass motherfucker while doing so. Of course they're trying to scapegoat AM1. That's exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to scapegoat AM1 because they don't want to bring my ass on the panel so I can fucking stomp their fucking guts out. So they rather go after AM1 rather than fucking face me. That's what this shit's about. It's some bullshit. Imagine ego, dude. You just don't like AM1, man. Just say it. You don't like AM1. You don't think he bring anything to the table. When I say that AM1 is having the same conversation that I'm having, he's just having it in a nicer format. It's the same conversation. I mean, but they can't scapegoat. Like, yeah, that's another thing. And, dude, listen. Mr. Research just got his channel back. The 2007 Alpha Male Wisdom channel. They keep it 100, try to bring on Mr. Research? No. Because Mr. Research ain't going to have those fucking type of dumbass conversations with dudes who just got here. Fuck you. You don't know the history? Pick up a fucking book. Nobody's coming on your fucking live streams to fucking explain shit to you. You hat backwards fuck nigga. Nobody got time for that shit, man. Fuck out of here. But that's the problem, man. Like a lot of these dudes want to troll women and then they want to act like they're here for progress for men. You want to troll women, but then you want to act like you're here for progress for men while hanging out with fuck niggas. Shit don't make no sense, man. This shit don't make no sense. Wacky World of O is still here. Mike V still here. DC Codebreaker still here. Like all these dudes are still here, but don't want to have a genuine conversation to save their life. You want to know why? A genuine conversation would actually shut down most of this bullshit conversation that happened within the space. Hey man, can y'all repost Citizen Luke comments? But because for some reason I can't see him. Nah, like that's the thing about the lone wolf shit, man. They kind of like you got to be confident to be a lone wolf. You can't be a incompetent lone wolf. Like that's not how that works, man. Like you can't be an incompetent lone wolf. Like you got to be skilled to be a lone wolf. You have to be. Do you have to know how things operate to be a lone wolf, man? I mean, women are just better social with each other. That's the only thing that is. That's why you got to bust up this shit like Elliot Ness, man. That's why you got to break this shit apart and break this shit down into 1,000 fucking pieces. Now you got to itemize this fucking dumbass shit because otherwise they're gonna come in and they're gonna keep taking advantage of the men who have not put anything in order. Like this is why these dudes go from one panel to another to another to another, listening to the same fucking dumbass motherfuckers have the same conversation over and over and over and over and over again. 9, 10 motherfuckers up there, no progress being made, discussing the same shit, taking no fucking action, no understanding of how shit works, but expecting women to fucking submit to you. Why the fuck would they submit to you if they can produce more than you already? Why the fuck would they submit to a dude like that? That shit just don't make any sense to me. With Cedric Webb, he can't move with the productivity. This dumb motherfucker said that, well, you know what? Ron Wills do shit about productivity and don't nobody listen to that. I'm like, because he's a dumbass nigga who's 50 something years old talking about the sexual fucking underworld. Of course, people are not going to take this motherfucker seriously when it comes to the productivity piece because he's bitch first. You know why you over there? You over there to listen to dumbass information about women that you shouldn't even be fucking with. That's why you over there. That shit ain't about no real self improvement. That's about giving your self improvement to somebody who your ass shouldn't be with in the first place. Ah, that's what they are, man. They are the real hoes. They're the hoes. I mean, do you really need AM1 to tell you that? Do you really need AM1 to tell you that? This is what I mean by having conversations about shit that you shouldn't have a conversation about. He lives in California. California shit is already taken care of. There's not really anything you can add to the California experience. The liberal shit is being done by the liberals. The conservatives have no fucking power, and everything works in California. I don't really think he needs to talk about the political process in California. Everything works in California. Yeah, yeah, wacky word. Oh, but what they do is they do this childish bullshit where they try to have conversations but exclude the actual people who can end the conversation. Like they have conversations about 1.0 not existing, and then know the people are here, but just won't come to them for any type of advice on how the shit works. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, bro, you just don't like AM1. I get it. I live in a state where shit, you don't want to live in the conservative areas. I don't know shit about California. What's going on? Don't know one. What's going on? Made the Alchemist. What? He actually said that? Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Apparently Theo Soros pulled his money out of this shit, man. He decided to give his money directly to women that he actually want to be with. That's what I'm saying, man. Yeah, man, that shit was wild, dude. This shit was wild. This dude was like, get your body right so you can feed it to a ran through bitch. So that way you can stop complaining about women. Knowing full to the fucking well that that older ass woman is not about to let your ass run up in her and you ain't got no motherfucking responsibility for her after that shit. Man, get out of here with that. That woman gonna keep your ass around for the ever. Fuck out of here. What's going on, Private Foster? I disagree. Major Ego, I disagree. Yeah, I mean, but you only need pimp culture and all that shit to deal with hoes. You only need game to deal with hoes. For real. Yeah, that's what it's used for. It's used to deal with the type of women that you shouldn't even be fucking dealing with in the first place. I agree with that. Mm-mm-mm. I mean, but the thing about AM1 is that they're not going to bring AM1 on for a one-on-one because it's going to look like how it looked when AM1 went on Edward's show and caused a firestorm because he just pretty much told him he's just keeping up bullshit conversations that don't need to be kept up. Mhm. I mean, but Obsidian has always been on that outright shit for an audience. You have to understand that Obsidian's here to build an audience. Obsidian said many different times that he's not here to solve any problems, man. He's not here to solve any problems. That's why I don't even worry about Obsidian. What you do is Obsidian serves as a very good tool to actually know how effective this actual space is. Because if people are going over there and not really getting with the productivity piece, it shows you clearly that people are not here for reasons to why they say they're here. That's why I don't even worry about it. I mean, you're gonna have to need to be able to test your actual information, and I already know that most of these people in this space is not here to get their shit together. I already know that. I already know that. Like whenever I see these people out here, man, it's really not a lot of them, black or white. It's just that most people want to be on this fucking bullshit all the way. Offer to hire him for what? Yeah, man. That's what these dudes believe in, man. They believe in that hard dick diplomacy, man. Yes, indeed. They go fight feminism dick first, and they lose every fucking time. That shit's funny as fuck, man. I mean, but you have to realize that that's what dudes do when they don't have any integrity. Like BGS doesn't have any integrity as a person. So that's why when you see some of your fuck niggas over there who think they're thinking black men and all this stupid ass shit, like that's why they over there. They over there because they feel something in common with that type of dude, man. Yeah, but you have to realize, man, that the octanes is another way of dressing up your ability to only deal with low quality women, no matter what social status that it is. That's what the Octane series is about. It's about you dealing with low quality fucking women, no matter what the background is. Like that's what the Octane series is about. It doesn't presuppose that a woman can come from a decent fucking family and not be a family destroying person. No, it assumes all women are low quality across the board. You're just going to meet them in different social statuses. That's all the octane system is. I mean, if you're dumb enough to want to deal with the low quality women, no matter what social situation you get yourself into, that's another thing by itself. That's what I'm saying. Spiritual logic Hulk. Like they have to misrepresent what you say because if they represented what you said correctly, it would be a very short conversation. But they have to go everywhere and keep re-looping this conversation kind of over and over again. I mean, but we know most of these PhDs are inept ass fucking dudes, man. We know that shit. You got one dude who's doing the short bus Sundays. You have the theology major who's trying to be like He Man to these broken ass men who still haven't given up on Ice Cube as a political fucking decoy. And then you have Trauma Bond Hassan Johnson who talks about shit outside of entertainment that's not even in the field that he's actually in. It's some stupid ass shit. It's ridiculous. Okay, let me address this. Okay, other than telling men not to talk about women, what's useful, tangible information that does AM1 actually prove that some level shit is your own? Listen, man, you have to go listen to his content to go get that. Like, if I kept answering these fucking questions for you, that means that you are not listening to his actual content. You want me to tell you about his content, but you don't want to listen to his actual content for yourself. Like, I can't do this shit for you. Look at the actual title of the live stream. The title of the live stream is you trying to get me to do some shit that you don't care about. Remember, you don't give a fuck about AM1. So why would I keep comparing myself to what AM1 is doing or not doing if you don't give a fuck about AM1? And you don't think that he brings any type of tangibles to the actual space? Why would you keep trying to get me to compare shit that AM1 is if you already don't give a fuck about AM1? Remember, you said what 10 different times in 10 different ways that you don't think that dude is effective at anything. Remember, this is a you problem. I don't have a problem with AM1. You have a problem with AM1. And you're unwilling to get on this panel to discuss what you disagree with AM1 about, so you want me to fight you want to try to use me as a board to actually go at AM1 when you just don't even know what AM1 content is about. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like people are like okay, like people go through this era where they take Obsidian seriously, and then they get this shocking moment when they realize Obsidian's just here for entertainment. It's like, no, you fell for it. You thought that this guy was gonna do all this type of shit, and turns out he wasn't. He was always an entertainer. You just refused to listen to the fact that he was doing so. He does the same show every fucking day with a different target every day. And a lot of people waste 4 and 5 years over there because they tied their actual progress to actually Obsidian progressing themselves. And then when Obsidian doesn't talk about anything different, you start to be mad at Obsidian. That's not Obsidian's fault. Obsidian is here to do the same show every fucking day. That's what he's here to do, to make as much money as possible by doing the same show every fucking day. Yeah, but that's what that is, though. You have to understand, man. Like, bro, like y'all be going to the wrong people expecting the right type of shit out of them, and that's kind of on y'all, man. What? What? Uh, wow. I mean, but anyone already had live streams on After Effects and Adobe and all that shit. It's just that you don't know that because you don't care to know that. No, AM1 isn't new to the space. He's new to live streaming and doing streams all the time. But he normally he never really done that shit. Yeah, man. Like I don't think like I don't think that situation is a dead end. It's unfortunate. But yeah, man. Like it's tons of dudes that can be reached at a very younger and earlier age who can actually be put on the right type of system. I mean, cause look at all these dumbass motherfuckers in the manosphere. Shit, a lot of these women would be better off being single mothers than having a lot of these dumbass dudes being fucking father figures to these dudes, and they don't even have their own shit together. I disagree. I still think he's entertaining, but you have to take him in small snippets because I like different types and styles of content, and I like progression in the actual person that I'm actually listening to. I I can't listen to the same shit and like every day. Like I can't do that. I can't do that at all. Yeah, man. But when you keep wasting your time trying to explain this shit to people, like, dude, like it makes no sense, man. It makes no sense. It makes no sense because there's no progression. And these people in academia center themselves around people who are not actually progressing, period, and give them fake and false answers and bullshit solutions. Oh, okay. So you mad that he hasn't put up enough editing shit that you can actually benefit off of? So is that the issue? That he doesn't do enough content on editing and photography because you're in photography too? It's like, is that what the issue is? Because when he tries to do those live streams, people side like they sidestep it with some other shit. They always do. But see, imagine ego like that's a you problem though. Like, like some people can say that I'm letting them slide with the shit that I do on Patreon. But at the end of the day, this is a you having a problem with his content problem. Not that there's a problem with AM1's content as a problem. Man, look, that woman was over there with BGS and fucking Angry Man. If you fucking trust that fucking chick, then I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you. You deserve to be fucking single. If you need to listen to another woman tell you that her group of women ain't shit, then nigga, you need to be fucking single. Yes, you need to be fucking single. Stay single, my friend. Dude, go get you some realistic fucking experience with women, man, and stop trying to listen to a woman of a certain archetype tell you that the rest of her group ain't shit. Man, I would never listen to no hoe ass shit like that. Fuck out of here. Nah, nah. I'm not gonna do no stupid shit like that. Nope. You're never gonna find me doing no goofy ass shit like that. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, bro, his problem with AM1 is that he don't think that AM1 is doing the right thing with his like, bro. As soon as he start going up and doing all this stuff with After Effects, people derail his fucking stream. Have you even listened to dude? It's like three different streams where he tried to do nothing but the After Effects and show you all this shit, and people derail the stream with other shit every single time. That's what it is, Rael, man. Level me up. Boom. You know what? That's an excellent point, Majin Ego. Why don't you make all the videos that you think AM1 ain't making? If you're so good at this shit. No, I mean, she's a nigger bitch. She is. She's one of these ratchet ass fucking hoes that niggas are looking up to, not understanding that this fucking hoe was out dissing productive fucking men. This is why she's never around productive men. Any bitch that's around BGS or fucking angry man isn't a bitch that you should be trusting. Period. Like, man, boy, it blows my mind when I see these dumbass niggas be trying to share this bitch's content. I'm like, that bitch don't really fuck with productive men like that, right? She fuck with niggas. Cause she's a nigga bitch. That's what the fuck she is. Alright? Man, boy, and you have all these dumbass niggas over there, man. That shit be crazy. Of course you're selling that fraud shit too, man. That's why I don't give a fuck, man. Listen, man. Y'all want to be over there, y'all want to be on that shit, y'all stay the fuck over there, man. The unknown one, I know it was more productive, but you have to understand that men came here to make it less productive. And they kind of did that shit on purpose. Yeah, they did. They came over here and they did it on purpose. Man, you must be out of your fucking mind if you think I'm gonna listen to a woman say some shit like that. I mean, shit is like listening to her is no different than listening to Cynthia G talk crazy shit about black men. What the fuck I want to listen to a woman talk shit about her own group for? Why? I ain't got time for no dumbass shit like that. And it's not gonna make me feel better, and it's not gonna give me access to a woman by listening to a woman say some stupid shit like that. The only thing you're gonna do is create a false level of codependency that is not gonna get you to your end goal. Period. But if you don't know the history of these people, man, if you don't know the history of these people, man, like bro, like a lot of people think that their popularity and showing your face shit really gets you out of the fact that you ain't doing shit about no motherfucking progress around here. That ain't some shit that can be multiplied around anybody. And to tell you the truth, if she was to say that shit in the wrong type of city, some black women would come and see her motherfucking ass over the shit that's coming out of her mouth. For real. Cause not every woman get down on watching her homegirls being fucking treated like that, man. Like she wouldn't. Nah, man, there, there wouldn't be that shit. Come on that one, man. There ain't no way he going around claiming that he created Itmore just because he got Itmore in his fucking name, man. Nah. New. It isn't motivating to get put in the work, so you have to have a good message than people to watch a Crimson Cure. It makes you sit what it once want. All right, man. So I remember Angry Man was talking about there ain't no woman that can talk about the red pill, and then you had The Crimson Cure started talking her shit about the red pill, and then she just went off into just talking shit about black women. It's like, man, look, man, you dumb niggas will fall for anything, man. I swear to God, man, some of you niggas are so fucking stupid. I ain't got to be over there, man, but I know what the fuck y'all on, man. You got little big Nate, stupid ass, claiming he's a fucking conservative, all up in the ass of that fucking liberal woman. Support the content, support the stream. Oh my God, man, this shit's crazy. So I got a question. So let's say, for the sake of conversation, that all these black women ain't shit, just like she says. Okay, what kind of women that you gonna fuck with after that? Huh? Oh, what kind of women you gonna fuck with after listening to a woman telling you that every woman in her group ain't shit? What type of woman that you gonna fuck with after that? Because you can't fuck with her, and you can't really fuck with none of her homegirls because she already said that her homegirls really ain't shit either. So what are you stuck with dealing with after that? This is what I mean by this shit is so circular. It's fucking retarded. Yeah, AM1. Apparently, this guy right here is talking a lot of shit about you, man. So, all right, man. So AM1's here. So I guess you guys can just have it out. Well, actually, AM1, you should have Mason Ego on your actual channel for a one-on-one because he got a lot of shit that he want to get off his chest about you, dude. Oh, you done, man? AM1's here now. Now you don't want to talk to him. So are you sure that you don't want to call AM1 useless to his face? Are you sure you don't want to do that? I swear, man. Y'all be on some crazy ass shit around here, man. But again, in roughly about, what is it? It's July 2023. About July. Watch. You gonna come around to roughly a year from now. Everybody's gonna pretend like they don't know that there's an election going on. Everybody's gonna pretend like they live in these super ass areas that everything is fixed. Everybody just gonna pretend all that shit, man. That shit is going to be funny. All right, man. So AM1 is useless because you don't like the content that he does. You don't like AM1 because he didn't tell you what politician to vote for. I guess in that sense, I'm crying about other men online because that's all I talk about is shit that's wrong with the fucking space. This is what I'm saying, man. Like, major ego. It would be better off to really tell us what content creator that you don't like that he's actually going after. MOT, you the hoe. I I don't even know what that means, man. You the hoe. I don't know what that means. And you know what our rule is about new niggas with new names who talk a bunch of shit. That's what happened to new niggas with new names. Talk a bunch of shit. However, you can get unblocked by emailing me and coming on for a 1-on-one so I can take your fucking head off. And if you're not gonna do that, then you got your ass is gonna stay blocked. That's how we do that. We don't do new niggas jumping in and just dropping whole shit in the goddamn chat, bro. The fuck out of here. Come in here under your real name, not no second, third, tertiary fucking account on some stupid shit like that, nigga. Just come on up and just talk your shit. Because I know my chat very well, man. And if you ain't never been around here, then you ain't never been around here. That's it. That's a great thing about not really having that many people over here, right? When you see a new nigga that just run his fucking mouth, that's just a dude who haven't had to put foot patrol ran on him. That's all. You don't think AM1 is being real? What do you call it? You don't think AM1 is being really upfront by just telling dudes that they just whining about bitches online? That is pretty direct. It's pretty direct because that is what dudes are doing online, essentially. But I don't want to center the whole conversation around you since you don't want to talk to AM1 and he's here. So, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna be able to shut this stream down because I got some shit else to do. I do want to thank you guys for coming through and still being subscribed to my channel. Still, we're gonna be making some more changes here before I make my formal, actual announcement. But we do got to take this concept in a direction that actually makes some sense. Because I have no interest in talking to these relationship bitches or these other women who just want to throw their own group under the bus so some sorry ass men can fucking feel good about themselves. I have no interest in that type of stupid shit. I ain't got none of that. uh, no, man, it's just that I'm just taking the concept in the direction that I know they can't follow. Like you can't follow like right now you can't follow the even the like I'm not even promoting my channel to anybody. And I think word of mouth is probably the worst way to actually grow an actual legitimate channel. I think word of mouth is the worst way you can fucking do that, especially in the social media age. So yeah, man, just look up, man. A lot of things gonna be changing. I already got a lot of content that I've already done already. Yeah, so we're just gonna go in that direction because clearly most of these people can't even talk about things of substance. So it's very easy to just wash this fucking place out. Just send these motherfuckers to regular black YouTube and not just do the black manosphere shit under its original intent without the fucking relationship bullshit or the fake street niggas and all that kind of dumb shit. It's really easy. Well, imagine ego, man. Like nobody really thinks that AM1 got cooked on the stream, dude. Like you seem to be very okay with this Venditti rule switch hitting ass nigga who's fucking trying to have a fake ass conversation. You seem to be way more okay with a nigga with his hat on backwards, like he's Stallone from like Over the Top or some shit, man. Like what's going on here, man? But all right, man. Let me get up out of here, man. I want to thank you guys for coming through. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out. You guys have a nice one.